Hello, my name is Michael Garrick, and this is Popping Culture Movie Reviews. My guest today is comedian Kaleigh Cutright. Uh, she's
Or
a she's a hilarious comedian. If you live in the North Carolina or South Carolina area, make sure you guys check her out. Thank you so much for coming on for the movie review.
absolutely, yeah. Got my Home Alone shirt on. Let's do it. Oh, I'm not, spoiler alert. I'm sorry.
Nah,
But
it's totally fine. Uh,
been-
the movie that we'll be reviewing is Home Alone. Uh, Kaylee chose the movie, and before we get into it, this will be a 100% spoiler review. So if you guys don't want to hear any spoilers, just let's look at the movie, then come back to the video. Um, Before we go into the movie, would you suggest that they watch it?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been out for 30 years, so if you're worried about spoiler alerts, you had 30 years.
Yeah,
So
true. And if you have USA Network, you'll definitely watch it somehow.
yeah, it's a perfect quintessential Christmas movie. So
Nice, nice. Was there any special reason why you chose it?
um, I guess because of how iconic it was. Like it's a good one. It's not necessarily like my first favorite, but it's just so it's a perfect pop culture Christmas movie. Checks all
Ni-
the boxes. So.
Nice, nice. All right, guys. From this point on, it'll be 100% spoilers. Kaylee, I'll let you start off. What did you enjoy about the movie?
Um, I like all the Christmas whimsy. It's like things happen, like the kid gets left alone. He's home alone, but it's not like so real that like something terrible happens to him or whatever. It takes place during Christmas time, which is nice. And it's wacky, but it's still a break from real life. That's like one of the best things about it. Nothing bad happens to the kid that's left home alone.
No, no, no. Um, the plot, I thought the plot was simple and just what they needed for a Christmas movie. They didn't over explain anything. It was just like this happened because this happened and this happened. I would like to first jump into the cast. Um, how'd you feel about Joe Pesci?
I really like him, and he was good for that role.
Yeah,
Like he's like the brains of the operation or whatever.
he was perfect for that role. Like
Mhm.
to see him, like I said, I didn't know much about Christmas. So I don't think I knew him for his older roles as like a gangster. So to see him play this role, it was like this guy has range. It
Yeah,
was,
exactly. He kept a little bit of his gangster persona, or a lot of it really, but and he made it good for a kids movie.
and not trying to bounce off any topics. We're gonna stick with this movie, but I wish I saw it when I was a kid. I swear, I wish I saw it. This movie, to compare this movie to another movie I saw, this is like a great version of Mouse Hunt.
Oh yeah, okay.
Um,
Yeah. Well, the coolest thing about watching it as a kid was you immediately thought about like if it were you.
exactly.
Yeah, which was fun because I totally was watching it as a kid, like looking around my house, like what kind of booby traps would I set? Um, could I handle this? Would I call my grandmother or whatever? Like I totally remember thinking like what I would do if I were him. And of course all the like, yes, I would eat pizza and candy and stay up all night and whatever, whatever I wasn't supposed to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Until, you get scared.
Exactly. Did you come from a big family, or is just you and your sister?
No, I have a pretty big family because I have like a blended family. So my as far as like my biological siblings, it's just my twin and I. And then I've got two stepsisters. One's older, one's younger than us. So we're like there's four girls. I grew up with four, having three sisters. So
Nice. Do you feel like when it came to that family aspect, you can understand more? Because it was just me and my brother, so like I couldn't imagine my mom just forgetting us or
yeah.
forgetting me. You know?
No, I that makes sense. Even with they were like seven kids because there was like cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
But even with four, like actually my dad has left one of us before. He left my younger sister at Walmart once. He only got to like the parking lot.
Okay.
And he
Okay.
walked back in and she's like over there by the sticker lady and like the eyeglasses and she's just bawling. Like um but yeah, I could see that happening. And I could even understand his perspective initially where he was like, good, like, I need a little break from my family
Yeah.
because there's just so many of us. We're always together. It's like kind of cool to be. it would be kind of cool to just be alone for a little bit. I was never alone. I mean, my twin and I are close, but I was just never ever got to be alone really. So,
Yeah,
literally from birth, I just always had someone with me.
yeah. You always did have a partner. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, I saw the movie literally 2 days ago.
Oh wow,
So that
okay.
was my first time watching it, like legit first time watching it. The first one I ever saw was the third one, and I saw the second one later on, like here and there. But it was my first time sitting through the first one. And what did the father do? Because I tried to keep rewinding, because that's a big house, and I just
Yeah,
couldn't remember what the
yeah.
father did to get this big house, and whatever the mom did. I can't remember. I think they said the mom would stay at home. I'm not sure.
I can't remember what he did, but I know his job took him to Paris for
Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah, bought him that
But you know
house
what's
too.
funny is what the house was huge, but I remember thinking like as a kid and even when I watch it now, um, that night when he got all those pizzas and he just paid for it all. It was like 100 something bucks and like he just like shelled out all that money for pizza. I was like, damn, he's got like big like pizza money like that. It was like as a kid and now I'm still thinking like that's a sign of money. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna feed 20 people, it'd be like a couple $100 of pizza. Here, just get go. I'm going to Paris, like
Yeah.
can't be bothered with things like this kind of thing.
I love the fact that like I saw it with 28-year-old eyes and you got lucky to like see it with kid eyes. So all I'm thinking about is the financial things and you're just like you really got to enjoy the movie. So that's good. When it comes to the casting of Macaulay Kirk man, Macaulay Culkin?
It's weird to say Macaulay Culkin.
Culkin. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why
Uh,
his parents did that to him.
yeah, yeah. I think he was perfect. After watching Home Alone 3, like maybe 5 years ago, and watching him, he's the better actor. Like he
Oh,
nailed
definitely. Hmm.
he nailed the role completely. My favorite scene from the movie would be when he was I think trying to shave or he did shave.
Oh yeah, that's iconic. The like, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm. The aftershave. Yep.
yeah. I thought that was very clever. Do you have a favorite scene?
Hmm. Um. As a kid, I remember really loving when Joe Pesci and I can't remember the other guy's name. Uh, his
Daniel Stern.
okay. I when they were just like getting nailed with all of the booby traps. As a kid, I loved that. Like the doorknob, the bowling ball, like someone got hit in the nuts. They both probably did at different points, but as a kid, that was like the best part. Is like yeah, and it was awesome because it was all happening by the hand of a kid, not by
Yeah.
not literally getting hit in the nuts by the hand of a kid, but you know what I'm saying. Like
Yes.
the kid was defending his house,
Yes.
so that whole booby trap scene, like him getting all empowered to defend his house with the booby traps, was like my favorite scene. As I get a little bit older, I think a lot about like I don't know if that booby trap's still my favorite scene, but as I get older, I think a lot of it resonates with me when Catherine O'Hara, the mom, is panicking and like it, just that I guess imagining that feelingness of like or that feeling of hopelessness, just like 'cause she really does look scared. She did a good job of being like, completely like, I'm going to do whatever I can. Because that's bananas that the family was like, come on, let's just enjoy Paris. We'll figure it out. And she's like, I'm not leaving this airport. I have to get home. And so as I get older, like just watching, she did a good job of being like, no, nope. Christmas is canceled if I don't get home, kind of thing. So,
Yeah, which is the right response.
hmm.
If something like that would happen. Um, and then we go to the scene that's on your shirt. Um,
Oh yeah, that's a great one too.
yes, I did a little research on the movie, and that isn't a real movie at all. They just shot that for.
Hmm.
That's not
I
even.
thought it was a real movie too until like a few years, I guess a couple years ago when I got the shirt, I was like, what movie is that from? And then I was like, what? It's not a real movie? They just, yeah, that was great though.
Yeah, yeah, because I definitely tried to find the movie, and then like yeah, it just popped up like no, they needed that for that scene, and it worked out perfect
Hmm.
for them. I think everybody puts their best foot forward. I don't think it was any really weak link when it came to acting in this movie. But but like you said, I
I
think the mother was the strongest character.
Yeah, I think that the like Macaulay Culkin did a really good job as a kid going from the frustrated, spoiled, because he was a little shit in the beginning. Like he
Yeah,
was like, you know, his siblings kind of sucked too, but he was so like sassy, you know.
yeah,
But then he did a good job. You could see him like sassy, happy to be home alone, taking advantage of being home alone, getting scared once he realized that, you know, someone was trying to break in, then getting um productive and, you know, or proactive and like uh and then, you know, kind of becoming a little more mature through all that. So he did a good job, especially as a kid. But I agree. I think Catherine O'Hara, especially for not being in as much of the movie as Kevin was, she did a really good job of personifying like a mom that is, you know, just like feeling hopeless but very determined at the same time. So
yeah.
and scared and, you know, and I love that when she hitches a ride with like John Candy and all
Mhm.
of his friends, that was like a nice little bit of levity for her character. I think like, you know, a little bit of like, oh, I haven't smiled in like 2 days and I'm still very scared, but it's kind of she's feeling comforted because she's on her way back, and then she kind of gets to be around John Candy, you know, and whatever, what were they, like a polka group or
Yep.
something? Yeah, so that I like that scene too. It's like, oh, that's nice for her, a little bit of just a second to breathe, you know.
Yeah. Um, when it came to I just saw the movie 2 days ago. I should be able to remember everything. Um, when the cops came, I think just to watch the house. Do you remember that scene when the cop came to? I guess,
Like the real cop, or you mean when
yeah,
Joe Pesci came as a cop
the real cop.
to check and see? Oh, well, like when the parents called to check
Hmm.
on Kevin. Uh, yeah, that was some really weak police work.
Yeah, that was the only part of the movie where I kind of went, all right, maybe okay. This is a '90s movie. We can't act like it was the same. Like that might
Mhm.
actually been like the what they did in the '90s. But I was
Right?
definitely like, would have been a little more yelling, I guess. Like, hey, is somebody here? Like, but
Yeah, if I even think that there's like a kid alone, like in that house, and I know his parents are on another continent, I'm gonna kick the door in. I'll be like, oh, that's fine. Bill me. I'll pay for the door. I wanted to make sure your child was alive. You know,
yeah,
yeah, they were just kind of like, well, I don't see anyone.
yeah. Like, good luck, kid,
You
if
like
you're
the
here.
Chinese food? Yeah, what do you want to do now?
Yeah, like you know. So out of we won't count the third one. Out of the first or second, which one do you like more?
Uh, the first.
Me too. Me
Hmm.
too. I just thought this one was more of the plot is just so straight line with the second one. They couldn't keep the same straight. They didn't want the same story, so they had
Yeah.
so many twists and turns, which didn't make it a bad movie, just not as good as the first one.
Yeah. And I mean, well, also when you asked me that, I was thinking of like, okay, so there's the old man, the neighbor in the
Hmm.
first one, and then in the second in the second one, there's that bird woman, the pigeon woman or whatever. And so I was like, who did I like better out of those two? And they were both sweet stories, but I liked the first one better. To me, and I'm like this with most reboots. I'm trying to think of movies where I've not preferred. I usually am just always about the first one. Leave well enough alone. Like I'm, you know, like I guess to go off topic, but as an example, like I love the show Frasier and I love the show Friends. I don't want reboots of either of them. Leave them alone. So, you know, kind of like with Home Alone, it's like the first one, just lay out the integrity of the movie. You know, the second one was fine. Don't make any more. Like you really didn't need to go past two.
Yeah,
So,
it's studios get greedy.
mhm. Yeah.
Um, Funny thing about that old man, talk about not knowing parodies. Like it's so many TV shows that parody that old man, and like as I think back on them, I just didn't get the parodies at all. Like I know
Oh, like
Family
the
Guy has parodied him, and a
oh
few
yeah.
other, and I was just like,
Wow. I didn't think about that. Yeah, like that crotchety old neighbor, but who's really not really a bad guy kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. So it's
Mhm.
like that scene has been parodied a lot, and I was just like, I never got it till now. So
Huh,
Um,
I never thought about what's his name in Family Guy? Is it Hugh? I don't, Hubert, or I don't know what
Hubert,
it is.
it's Hubert.
Is it Hubert? Yeah,
Yeah,
like a pervy. Yeah, like
yeah, yeah.
uh. Okay, that's funny. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Huh. I
Um,
can't not think about that now.
yeah. This movie is an hour and 43 minutes. No point in this movie did I think it was more than 90 minutes. Like, I think that really shows how good the storytelling was.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it was just as long as it needed to be.
Mm. How do you feel about the music?
It's funny that you say that. It was great for the movie. It was a lot of like orchestral music, and I have like some Christmas Pandora stations I'll play, and when the music for Home Alone comes on, I usually skip it just because it's movie music. I don't need like orchestral Christmas music like when I'm just listening to it, but it's really good for the movie.
Yeah, yeah. Nice, nice. Um, I don't think they had like the biggest budget, so I think that's why they went more that route instead of trying to license music.
Oh yeah,
Which,
probably. I
which,
know when he's doing like that mock Christmas party, there is a song. I can't remember which one it is. Like there may be one or two real Christmas songs. Like I think Carol of the Bells, when he's going from the church to go defend the house, like that song is on there. But yeah, you're right. Yeah.
mm, which that's an awesome scene too.
I know it's so like that's as a kid and now I actually have the same feeling of like yes, like let's go. You know,
Yeah.
very inspiring. And
Um,
there's like that urgency too.
yes, yes. I love the humor when it came to Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern because at no moment did they overact and at no moment did they underact. They just knew what they came for. Um, it's a lot of like I said, like Mouse Hunt. Like it's a lot of ways that they can be acted and it would just make it a horrible movie. But I think they knew where they were and surprisingly they're in the movie a good bit, but not overly enough. You know.
Hmm.
So that's something I definitely enjoyed. When it comes to the ending, do you think they wrapped it up too quick, or do you like the way it ended?
Uh, I think that they. I think it was nice having that. I almost just like welled up for a second just thinking about it. But like when she comes home and like her and Kevin see each other, it kind of is very similar to the last time that she saw him when she was like, "Well, maybe you'll wake up and we will be gone." But having gone, they've both been through a lot, and so I still sometimes like well up like when she first sees him and he sees her. Um, it's really nice, and I think that's good. You don't really need to draw it out much more than that. I know the rest of like the family comes back or whatever, but like I think that was fine because
Nice,
most of the meat of what happened, and you could tell they learned a lot, whatever. But no, that was good. I think they did fine.
nice, nice. In your opinion, do you believe this movie is a part of pop culture?
Definitely, for sure. I'm wearing it. Yeah, I'm wearing the pop culture proof. Yeah.
Nice, nice. I agree. I agree. Um, well, thank you so much for coming on to the movie review. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans?
Uh, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Stop at number two. Just watch the first two, and that's you're good.
Yep, exactly. They didn't even make a third one.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Kaylee, thank you so much again, and you guys have an amazing day.
You too.